Alright guys, today we're going to talk about solving systems of linear equations and inequalities by graphing. So today we're just going to look at linear equations. Okay, so in order for systems of equations, we have two equations. Up until now we've just been graphing one. So the only difference is we're going to put two equations on one graph. So to start with, you put both equations in slope-intercept form. Okay, so that's just like we've been doing when we were graphing before Christmas. So slope-intercept form. And that's y equals mx plus b. So we're going to solve for y. So this one's already there, so that one's done. This one we need to solve for y. So we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. And I get y equals negative 2x plus 6. Okay, then we're going to graph both equations on the same graph. Okay, so we're going to use the same graph and graph both equations. So this first one, my slope is 1, and my b, remember, is 0, 3. X is always 0 because that's our y-intercept. For this one, my slope is negative 2, and my b is 0, 6. Okay, so we're going to start with the first one. We're going to do 0, positive 3. Slope is 1, it's positive, so up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, or down 1 left, down 1 left, down 1 left, down 1 left. Okay, so then I'm going to take my line and draw me a line real quick. And then put my arrows on there. And then on the other one is at 0, 6 is my starting point. Remember, our starting point is always our y-intercept, then negative 2. So instead of our line slanting to the right, this one's going to go to the left. So I can go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. Just like we've done before. Draw our line. And then put some arrows showing that the line continues on forever and ever. Okay, so this is nothing new. We're just graphing the lines and everything. So the step that's new is the solution is where the two lines intersect. So now we are solving these by finding where they intersect. Okay, that's at that point right there. So that's going to be at 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the solution you're going to write as an ordered pair. Okay, so my solution to this is the point 1, 4. Okay, so we're not going to do inequalities today, but we are going to look here at this part here. So when they intersect, we have one solution that will be an ordered pair, x, y. Okay, these are parallel lines, if you remember. That means they will never intersect, so there is no solution to these. This is an infinitely many solution because it makes the same line. Okay, so every time it intersects, remember, is our solution. So here's a point, there's a point, there's a point. Every point on this line is intersecting with the same points on the other line. So it's infinitely many solutions. Okay, so let's turn our page and look at this next problem here. Okay, so step 1, we solve for y. So we have x minus y equals 2. We're going to subtract x, because remember that's a positive x. That's going to leave me negative y equals negative x plus 2. Now this negative y, we have not solved for y, so we have to divide each part by negative 1. So y equals x minus 2. Alright, so my slope is 1, and my b is 0, negative 2. Alright, so 1 is here, 0, negative 2 is our starting point, 0, negative 2, and then our slope is 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, or we can go down and left, and then we're going to draw our line. And then we're going to have our arrows showing how far it goes. Okay, so that's that first line. Now this one doesn't have a y, but if you remember x equals -2, that means every time x is going to be -2, it makes a vertical line at -2. And now we can come up here and see that it intersects at -2, -4. Now the nice thing about this is we can check this in Desmos. So I've already went over to Desmos and I've already put in this 2 problems here. So the cool thing about Desmos is you don't have to put it in slope-intercept form. You can put it in standard. And so therefore you can check yourself to make sure you're completely right. And so if we go down here, we see where they intersect at -2, -4, just like we thought they would. Okay, so now let's look at example number 4. So we're going to have to solve for y. So when we do this, we're going to write it over here. We're going to have 2x plus y equals 1. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So y equals -2x plus 1. So my slope is -2 and my b is 0, 1. So let's go ahead and graph that one. 0, 1 is my starting point. Slope's -2, so that means I can go up 2 and left 1, or I can go down 2 and right 1. And then I can connect those dots, trying to make my line as straight as possible so that we can go this line and we are, so that we can see the intersection. Okay, so you may want to use a ruler or the side of your calculator or phone to make these lines straighter. Okay, so then we have x plus 4y equals 12. So we're going to subtract x. So 4y equals -x plus 12. Divide by 4. So y equals, remember this is -1/4 x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So my slope is -1/4, and my b is 0, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Slope's -1/4, down 1 over 4, or up 1 over 4. Okay, so let's do our line here. Okay, now if you notice, they don't always intersect at a point. Okay, so here would be a good multiple choice question because it could say approximately where was this. So it'd be like approximately -1, +3. So let's go look at Desmos. And in Desmos, you can click there to turn some off. That way you don't have everything on there. So if you look here, so -1, +3. Okay, so that's an exact amount there. Okay, so sometimes you have to estimate, and sometimes you'll have to do that. We won't expect you to give us decimals, so if you put in here, you could put -1, +3. Okay, guys, so you're going to practice 4 of these and then do some other practice. So check your plan book and let me know if you have questions.